So I just received this message from our old buddy George. You remember George? He says, okay, 2 for 2 now with candle magic. This is probably no longer just coincidences as much as I want to say they are. So let's go see what's going on with our buddy George. So he put out a video and it's entitled NoFap Day 51. Okay, Frater Xavier, magic may be real. As if I'm being told something I don't already know. But it did pique my interest to find out what's going on.
If I ever have any chance of meeting this person again, it's just gonna have to be move on with your life. Periodically you'll be through by in this neighborhood, and just like other things, you know, you kind of don't think about it, and it manifests in front of you when you're least expecting it, right? You know, you kind of realize to yourself too, where I think that if I wasn't if I basically wasn't well, folks, I think she just appeared in front of me. So that's fucking weird. That was quite something. Well, folks, that was a really interesting turn of events. That was a little too fucking coincidental and weird, as I'm kind of not thinking about anything at all, and just talking into it. She like fucking pops out of whatever there's a whole bunch of apartments here, just walking her dog. It kind of like froze for a second, is like, oh shit, is that actually her? And is she? And I did not get out of my car, folks. At this point, I'm starting to kind of scare myself a little bit, because it is like, it'd be one thing if I was driving by, literally I'm parked and she opens a gate that's literally almost like to in front and to the right of the car, and fucking pops out. And here I am, like, talking into a camera. So it might be a little fucking weird. If I just, I could have, I suppose, gotten out of the car and said, oh, hey, fancy. I'm just saying, folks, that's a fucking weird thing to be. Wow, that's, I'm kind of at a loss for words for what just happened. Honestly, I don't even feel so guilty for not getting out of the car and approaching her. I suppose I know she does in fact live in the fucking neighborhood now, but damn, I'm almost scared myself for a in fact, I did kind of scare myself there. Yeah, I literally got her off my mind and just was all into talking into this camera, and fuck, man.
It's always hilarious to see someone manifest purposefully their intent with magic through synchronicity for the first time, when the world and rules that they thought they knew have gone right out the window. That look you get when you realize that Frater wasn't bullshitting you after all, that magic is real and does work, and that your subconscious does help create your reality. Now you realize why I'm so passionate about magic. You now realize why I say that magic saved my life. I love having crazy things like that happen to me on a regular basis. I love those surprises. welcome to your new life. Although I have to ask, what took you so long? You've been a subscriber for a while, and you're just now getting around to testing out the magic presented to you? I mean, you're on 51 days of no fap, which arguably would take considerable more will than any magic that I've asked you to test out for yourself. But better late than never. You realize why I say that I would gladly switch lives with you for an extra 20 years of doing magic. Now, it is common for people to freak out their first time, which is always absolutely hilarious to me, and I'm so glad that you sent in that message. There's not really much to go over here that already hasn't been said, but I do want to break it down a little bit. So from what I understand, George saw a girl that he became infatuated with and developed one-itis. One-itis is an obsession over one person. And an obsession is the inability to let go of something consciously. It's stuck in the mind, like being trapped there. It is a good idea to do magic to rid yourself of obsessions, as they are unhealthy, will waste your time, and can lead to all sorts of problems. But that's work for another time. I'm not going to preach to you too much about that, but it is something you need to be aware of. So apparently George does some candle magic so that he will be able to meet this girl again. So after casting the magic, he's out driving around with her in his mind, and he's looking for her. And he finds a place to park so that he can make a video, and inadvertently parks right in front of her apartment. You can't make these things up. Didn't know she lived there. Parks right in front of her apartment. But even so, magic doesn't manifest when you're thinking about it, and he's thinking about this girl, but yet he's recording a video, and he himself even recites the law of least expectance, that the magic will only manifest when he least expects it. But a little ways into the video, he starts to go into this rant, and he starts to forget about her and get on this other topic. I think it was online dating, and starts to just go into this rant, and he's about ready to give up and go home. And in doing so, he was able to let go, even for just a moment. And then that's when she showed up right in front of him. I love it. And you'll learn to love it too. Just remember, though, that when things manifest, you need to take advantage of it. You did the work to achieve a result, to be presented an opportunity, and you cannot let that opportunity pass when it manifests. I understand you were freaked out, and that it was really your first time.
Starting to scare myself from this meme magic crap, man.
But also understand that magic always manifests as a surprise. So you're going to have to know how to handle surprises. Magic rarely, if ever, manifests in a way that you expect. Now, I believe in the next video you did take action and you got her number, which is good, because you always want to seize the opportunities that you yourself created through your magic. Now, the only other thing I really want to talk about is your framing. There were several times throughout your video where you talked about how you felt like a stalker or serial killer as you're out looking for this girl. And that's certainly a frame you don't want to have going into an interaction with this person if you don't want to come off as creepy. Because if you feel like a stalker, you could come across as a stalker. So to reframe your position, you need to remember the following. It's only stalking if you, number one, don't have the balls to approach and just creepily follow her around without ever talking to her. And two, if you do approach and she tells you to get lost, that she doesn't want you to bother her anymore, and you still follow her around, then yes, that would be stalking. Instead, you're a man who sees what he likes and has the courage to go after it. And that is a very attractive quality for a man to have. You don't want to go into any interaction feeling as if you're doing something wrong. So that's just a little reframing tweak that I think can really help you out. But the important thing is that you took action. You took action magically, and then you freaked out when it did manifest, but then you did follow up and get a number. So you approached and took action. So all in all, good job, especially for your first attempt. The only other advice I can give you as a newbie would be to refrain from the temptation of using magic to control others, but instead use it to create opportunities for yourself. And that's about it. I want to thank George for sending me that message, and I will link to his original video in the description if you would like to see him freak out more. Then you'll be able to do so. And that will be all for today. See you next time. Take care.
On that note, holy shit, it's time to go home. What a fucking creepy morning it's been. Bye-bye.